Hey guys, so yeah, I'm in my recording room. It's still a mess if you can't tell by the stuff in the background. Them shelves still need some help. So this week, surprisingly, I didn't read as much as I had wanted to because, I had that whole slotting of books that I had last week, and I forgot to write down all my currently reads, but that's all right. We'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, it ended up being slower than I thought it was going to be. I actually only read 4 books. So let's jump into what I read last week, and then I will give you guys like the rundown of the week because I have some amazing things that I picked up from Indies Invade Philly, and then I get to show you guys what I got. And we'll discuss more about that. So what I read last week, started off the week by finishing, let me grab my book. Oh, we just had birthday dinner with the hubby, so yeah, I'm kind of full. This is week 45, November the 7th through November 13th. I noticed that I had stopped or hadn't been doing that lately, but I don't think you guys really needed that, but yeah. So first book that I finished was The Witch's Blade, which is The 5 Crowns of Orinthia, number 2 by A.K. Mulford. I'm placing it into fantasy. There is a romance aspect to it, so it technically could be a romantic fantasy or fantasy romance, because some things end up happening. So I'm giving this one 4.25 stars. Give it 2.5 Steam fans. I had this as an ARC, but it has been released, so you guys can go check it out. I really, really enjoyed it. And there are content warnings for torture, violence, abuse, and like neglect, I guess, or abandonment. It's more abandonment. And some drug use. Not real drugs, because they're not real drugs. They are magical fantasy drugs. But in this one we have Redora, and she is the sister to our queen or queen to be from book number 1. So this makes her a princess of the high court. And Renwick, who we met in book number 1 as well, who happens to be a prince of one of the courts. And yeah, we get to see the two of them sort of go on this journey of self-discovery, because at the end of book 1, Rue, as we're going to call her because I am never going to remember her whole full name, she picked up an artifact that happens to help her kind be better at what they are. I don't want to give too much away because would give off some spoilers and things like that. But know that the first 50% of this book as well is very heavy on the world building and helping you to understand what's going on in the world and the fantasy aspects of the story. I found it a little bit slow, but that's just because I am not a fantasy person. If you are a fantasy person and enjoy the fantasy and world building, then you are probably going to absolutely love this. After that 50% mark, we have the romance that finally really kicks in, and I was like so here for it. And they're dealing with some grief and deaths of things and repercussions of the things that they have had to do, both Rue and Ren. And then there is some things that end up happening that are very, very heart-wrenching, and I'm really, really looking forward to the 3rd book because I think there may be some LGBTQIA plus representation more in that book. There was an introduction to that in the previous books, book 1, and in this book, book 2. But I think the 3rd book is going to be revolving around a LGBTQIA plus relationship, and I cannot wait for that one. The second book that I finished reading last week was A Not So Meet Cute by Meghan Quinn, placing this into rom-com. Gave it 5 stars. You guys, it was so funny. So funny. Giving it 4 Steam fans had this as an arc. It has been released. The arc that I received was a quick turnaround, so I ended up waiting the extra couple days and getting the audiobook for it, and I am so happy that I did. I don't know that reading it with my eyeballs, reading the actual arc, would have landed the funny moments the way that they did in the audiobook, as well as the ages changed from the actual book, the novel itself, and the audiobook. They're 2 different ages. So our male character named Huxley and our female character named Lottie, Lottie lost her job and she is poor. I mean, I really can't describe her any other way. But there is a fake fiance, fake dating sort of situation that needs to happen, and Lottie is like really trying to make it on her own. She has a sister that, you know, is her ride or die, is her best friend, but she really kind of wants to get out of her mother's house that she lives in with her significant other, and you know, it's really, really funny how Lottie decides to go about getting out of that situation. And then you have Huxley, who is this billionaire tech guy that has a family business that he's running with his brothers, and they have worked for everything that they have wanted, or everything that they've gained so far, and he's very workaholic sort of feel to it, until he decides to open his big mouth to try and land a deal, and that entails a fake fiance, and this fiance had to be pregnant at the same time. So yeah, it was loads of fun. There were moments where I was literally laughing out loud with the audiobook, and like I said, I think that the audiobook narrators really landed all of the jokes that Meghan Quinn loves to put into her novels perfectly. And I didn't find Lottie's need to do it on her own annoying in any way, because even though she really wanted to do it on her own, she did finally show that side of vulnerability that allowed her to accept help and things like that. And I like that Huxley didn't stay in his realm of being a workaholic. I love the jabs that his brothers ended up adding to the layers of funniness, as well as her sister. And if I am not mistaken, fingers crossed, hopefully Meghan gives us another brother and Lottie's sister. So Huxley's brother and Lottie's sister, their romance, because they were kind of steamy in just the small parts that they did have, and I can't wait to see how they interact as well. The next book that I finished was Hard Love by Peyton Banks. I am placing this in contemporary. It's a sports romance. I give it 4.25 stars. I give it 3.5 Steam fans had this as an audiobook through Hoopla. Woo! Thank you very much, Hoopla. Yes, I have been following Peyton over on TikTok for a little while now. This is a Black author, and this book revolves around Rainer, who is a white quarterback, and he is very, very country. Then we have Jada, who is a Black hairdresser, cosmetology person. She has a small business of having a hair salon and doing good things there. And the two of them end up having a chance meeting. He's on his way home from a football game, and she is stranded on the side of the road, and he pulls over to help her out, and she's skeptical about that, and you can feel their attraction to each other. And I really love the way that Peyton sort of handled the nuance and discussion of having an interracial relationship in this book. It wasn't too heavy-handed, but the discussion was there on all parties, and dealing with the media, as well as dealing with parents that you know, that hadn't had to be challenged in that way before. And I really enjoyed the discussion around it. I loved their story. I loved their banter. It was very city meets country, country meets city, and then the spicy scenes were pretty nice too as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that, I think. Are there any triggers or content warnings? I guess the only content warning would be that there is racial discussion, or discussion about race and interracial dating. That's about it. The final book that I finished last week was Wall Street Titan, which is Wall Street Titans #1 by Zaires. I placed this in dark romance, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with dark romance. Give it 3 stars, give it 4 Steam fans. Listen to it as an audiobook thanks to Hoopla. I enjoyed this story. It felt very 50 Shades-esque. And we all know that I absolutely love 50 Shades, but it definitely had the undertones of 50 Shades. There are content warnings for childhood trauma, oppression, or childhood oppression, possessiveness, and possessive behaviors. So we have Marcus, who is this billionaire, and he is in the point of his life where he is like, I'm going to a matchmaker to find me a wife. And then we have Emma, who is on her way to being a Catwoman and single, until her friend advises her, or really kind of nudges her into getting onto Twitter, or not Twitter, onto Tinder, onto a dating site. And Marcus and Emma end up meeting because they have dates, blind dates, at the same restaurant, but then they end up sitting together mistakenly, because their dates weren't together or weren't with each other type thing. And then Marcus becomes very possessive and very obsessed with Emma. The main thing that this book initially lost stars for was the over descriptive and overly used emphasis on the fact that Emma is white with her pale creamy skin, and then the fact that Marcus is so overly obsessed and possessive of her, like really, like as soon as they meet. And it's like, really? And then it lost even more steam and stars because it's a duology, come to find out. When I looked up the book initially, I was like, okay, there's 2 books. But I was like, oh, maybe this is one Titan in this book and then another Titan in another book, like standalone type thing. And then once I started getting towards the end of this book, and then I looked at some of the reviews and found out that no, it leaves you off on a cliffhanger. And then the next book is about them as well. I was just like, was there a need? Am I going to read the second book? Yes, I am. That is going to happen. I'm going to read the second book. I've already pulled it out on my Hoopla. Luckily, I read this at the end of the month, so the new one is going on this month's credit, so I can do that. So yeah, it just didn't hit right. It started off really good and hot and spicy and things like that, but then there were things that Emma kept doing that annoyed the piss out of me, kind of like her need to pay for things, even though she was like on a budget. And she was like, oh my gosh. Like one point she was like, I don't know about going to this restaurant because that's going to blow my food budget for the month or week or something like that. And I was just like, girl, this billionaire is trying to take you to dinner. Let that man pay. Let him pay. It was just so over the top with the need to pay for their own things and not being a user. And that goes back into sort of the content warnings of the childhood trauma and things like that. But it was just so overly just pushed in the story that it really got kind of annoying. So what am I currently reading? For one, I am definitely reading Kingdom Come, which is Underworld King's World by Aleatha Romig. This is a standalone book, and come to find out, it is super long, and it is a true standalone. So I have that. Let me grab my Kindle Fire real quick to let you know what else I will be reading this week. So I found a couple TikTok authors that I want to try some books from, and the 4 that I'm going to try and get into this week is A Journey of Truth. That is by D.L. Winters. Then I want to read the second book in the Asshole Club, which is Luke by Tiffany Patterson. And I want to check out Roots of the Wicked by Keta Kendric, as well as Inevitable by Shain Rose. All of those are TikTok authors that I want to try and really kind of check out. Then of course I have my stuff from Hoopla that I'll be redoing as well. I'm not going to give you that list again just because it's super long. And I want to get to the things that I got from Indies Invade Philly. So if you guys didn't know, I went to Indies Invade Philly on Saturday. And we left Kiddo here because he had a swim meet, and they are the events that he swam would either show us if he was qualified for the championship meet for the winter. So he needed to get time. So he ended up staying home, and we ended up driving to Philadelphia, which is about 3 hours from us. And so that I could attend this signing, which this is my bag that I got for being a blogger, which I'm super excited about. It's super cute. Love it. In here we got a, I don't know if this is just the novella or if this is just a snippet, like a couple chapters from one of the authors. It's called Perfect Proposal, the Midas series by Tracy Gerard. And this was in our bag, as well as some other like cards and goodies and things like that that I picked up. So here's my badge in which I got, and then I end up writing my name up on top and stuff like that. Some of this stuff that you guys may see, I may either do a giveaway or maybe just gift some of the patrons that have been here the longest, that have really supported the channel or this page and things like that. Maybe getting gifts in the mail. I don't want to say finite that is going to be happening, because I don't know how the mail system is going to work, or if I will have the energy to put things together. But if you happen to be a receiver of that, then it's because I wanted to thank you and reach out and things like that. Got to see Willow Winters and got one of these awesome bags. If you follow her on TikTok, you would have already seen this bag. I got one early, super excited about that. Let's see, what else did I put in this bag? I think this is just my other I have other stickers and things like that I ended up keeping in this bag. So I got to see a good sort of bookish friend of mine. Her Etsy store is bookish treasures, I think it is. I'll make sure that her link is in our description box. But I had to get this awesome shush I'm reading. I love it so much. And her company is Book Signing Treasures. And like I said, I will put all of her information down in the description box. But I love this. I got one of those. Then I got a cute I love reading sort of thing that I'm probably going to be doing a giveaway for, or giving away, just period, giving it away. I am participating in a fun and amazing Secret Santa giveaway, or not giveaway, Secret Santa swap with some other friends, and I had to pick up some gifts for that. But I got a gorgeous stemless Bookaholics stemless wine glass. So I figured it was like the perfect time to get some awesome things. And then I had to get this amazingly gorgeous coffee mug. Oh, I love it. I love it oh so much. It just embodies all that I am, and I love it. so much. So there is that. Then I got to see the amazing Tony Leo. Got her to sign my copy of Misadventures with a Nanny. So cute, such a cute story. It's about a hockey player and he needs a nanny, or is it the other way around? Yeah, I want to say it's a single mom that ends up hooking up with a hockey player, and she has kids and stuff like that, and they put him through the ringers, but at the same time, you know, they find each other and have a great time. I remember enjoying it immensely. So I think I gave it like 4 stars or something like that, but you can find it over on my Goodreads. I'll make sure I take some pictures and things like that. Got to see the amazing Kim Lorraine. Earlier this year, she sent me Wild Ride or Wild Love, I think it was, and started my love off for these guys. So I got a copy of Wild Mistake, Roped Tight, Ridden Hard, Bucked Off, Saddled Up, and An Irresistible Chance, which is either a spin-off. I think it is a spin-off of this series, or a spin-off of these 2 series, because we have the Wilders, or the Wild Horse Ranch, which is this book, and then we have, which guys are these? I think these are the Riders, which is like a Riker family. They're the rival family to the Wild family, and then we have the Langstons, which is another family, and she's giving me all the cowboy goodness that I need right there. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then I got a cute tote, and got some stickers in there as well. Then I saw the amazing Catherine Nolan and picked up a copy of Wide Open Hearts. And that was part of a series that she wrote with 3 other authors to include, it's the Blue Water Billionaires series. And then I got my copy of The Price of Scandal by Lucy Score. If you see the theme in those covers, that is the series that I am talking about. And The Mogul and the Muscle by Claire Kingsley. Then, the amazing Pippa Grant. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, just in case one of the kids happens to be sick. I'm going to make sure that everyone gets their boxes before they get infected. So she put our stuff in boxes, and that way, if she wasn't able to attend the signing, she would have just sent it to us. So, let's open it up so I can show you which books I got for her. And here's the 4th book of that series, which was Crazy for Loving You by Pippa Grant. And then, of course, I had to get I already got, I had to have, or else I would have ordered it. The 3 books from the Girl Band series, which book number 3 is Rockaway Bride, and then we have The Hero and the Hacktivist, and we have Stud in the Stacks, and the first book is Mr. McHottie, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I already have that one, but I had to get the rest of that series, as well as Master Baker, because Pippa did it for me in those 4 books that I read for her, and I had to have something about baking. Could you do any wrong with that? No. Okay. Yeah. Loved it. And then she gave me a whole bunch of goodies in here, so I'm super excited about that. stickers and fun stuff there. I saw the amazing Willow Winters, and come to find out, one of my books that I had actually purchased came back and it was all jacked up, but I got a copy of Tell Me You Want Me, and she signed it for me. Then I got a copy of What I Would Do For You, which is the 3 books that I just recently read, and I had to get a copy of this because these covers are amazing. Starting my collection for Willow, and super excited about that. These are dark romances, so be careful if this cover is a little bit deceiving, but it's so good. Check out what I said about them over on Goodreads. I did a full TikTok of them. This is the story of the lawyer with the FBI agent and the vigilante / serial killer type guy. Yeah, this is their whole entire 3-book story right here. Had to get a copy of that. Then I got her to sign my copies of her paranormal romance, which is Wounded Kiss as well as Gentle Scars. Super excited to have both of those. And she signed my Dark Fairy Tales anthology. Oh, her other books are down in the base. But I got to see Christina Allen and got a copy of Insatiable Lover as well as Firefly. Got both of those signed. Then I saw Michelle A. Valentine, and she signed my copies of Chaos and Love, Rebellious and Reckless, as well as the Right One. The rest of Willow Winter stuff. I got some goodies right here, as well as these are some goodies from Christina Allen. Goodie box. And come to find out, I had a defective sort of copy of Tell Me You Want Me, and I call it defective because the actual book starts in the middle. That is the title page. That is not the title page. It is crazily printed starting at chapter 11 instead of the title page and chapter or the prologue. So there's prologue in the middle of the book. Thank you, distributor, but there's that. Then I also got the hardback covers of Beg For Me, which is the all of her Merciless World in the order in which they are best consumed. I do have to wait for my volume 2. It's on back order, but I got volume 1 and volume 3. Super excited about that. Love these covers. They are absolutely gorgeous. And then let's see. I also got Willow to sign my copy of I Have Lived and I Have Loved, which is her charity romance anthology as well. And then finally, I got a copy of Willow's new wall calendar for 2022, which has her covers in them. They are absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to use that. And then finally, I got to see the amazing Amy Dawes and get a copy of Sweeper, which I have not read yet, but I'm thinking I should read it. But I'm still debating if I'm going to read it with my eyeballs or if I'm going to wait and listen to it on audio. Ooh, that was kind of scary. Or listen to it on audio. So there's that. Okay. Wow. That was a lot. Whew, this is gonna be a long video for you guys today. So let me know what you're most excited about in our comment section. Let's talk about it. This Wednesday, I will be doing a live for lunchtime again, probably about 1 o'clock. It depends. That's usually about a good time to do that. So if you guys are around, make sure that you're checking out. I'll post our link as a post as well, and let me know down in our comment section if there is a topic that you want to hear my thoughts on. I am looking forward to just discussing and chatting and things like that. Maybe I'll have some things that come in. I will be releasing a vlog-ish sort of video for you guys for the trip up to Philly. I didn't get as much footage as I wanted during that time. It was really kind of crazy. The event planners for Indies Invade Philly were absolutely amazing, but at the same time, there were so many first time like people there that were, you know, that ended up getting, either they had a blog and didn't know that they could get the blog tickets, and whatchamacallit, and they were like, oh, there's a blog ticket available, you know, and all you had to do is prove that you have a blog, or you know, have some type of presence and things like that, and they opened it up to anyone that, you know, does promotions anywhere. So there were a lot of first timers that ended up coming to the blogger time frame, and you could tell that everyone was very pent up in their through the pandemic, because everyone brought every single book off of their bookshelves, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, usually I can do the blogger session, get to all of the authors that I want to see, and then sort of like linger around to see the new authors that I'm not familiar with. But this time around, it was just like, it was crazy busy. And on top of that, they had the audiobook narrators there for this time, and I unfortunately didn't get to like walk that line, because that line was ridiculously long, and it was just so out of control crazy. I was just like, nope, I'm not even gonna try and do it. And you know, Keta was at home. He was 3 hours away from us, and I kind of wanted to get up there, get my pre-orders, the things that I just showed you, and you know, get back so that he wasn't here by himself. My anxiety was crazy yesterday. It started raining as we were leaving Philly, so yeah, it was a crazy day. But you'll see that I fell asleep once I got home, and but it was a good day overall, even through all those frustrations of having new people. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging with me, and let me know if you guys want to do something for the holidays, maybe like a special live, or a Zoom meeting, or anything like that. Our priority reads, I'll make sure that they're listed in the description box for us, and pop them up here, because I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but I do know that I have them listed. So other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye. If you come with me tonight, I can show you things you've never seen.